want to talk to your customers based on what age group they're in? Hi, I'm Andrea Borcha, owner of Dia Creative, a digital marketing agency that is full service, serves startups, small to medium-sized businesses. I'm here to share what I've learned in over 20 years of marketing experience. And I'm going to be sharing what we're learning today with all of our different projects. So make sure to follow, like, share, and subscribe if you like to hear our marketing lessons. When you're figuring out who your target market is, they'll usually fall into a few different age groups. Now remember, if you're trying to market to everyone, you're really marketing to no one. Every age group has its own specifics. Today I'm going to go through the 4 major age groups. You have baby boomers, Gen X, millennials, and Gen Z. And we're going to talk about all the specifics for each of these demographics. Let's start with the baby boomers. Baby boomers are your oldest generation you're probably marketing to. Now they are old school, which means they're used to not having technology. They grew up in a slower time with slower communication, and they grew up, more importantly, in the time where sales and marketing really relied on personal relationships. Baby boomers tend to follow in that traditional retail experience. And when it moved to the web, it was a little jarring, to be honest. So what they're looking for on your website is to feel that extension of the retail experience. Picture your website as your front door, and your baby boomers are walking into it, and they want to have that understanding of who you are as a brand, what you offer, and make it very, very simple to shop. And honestly, that's a rule you should be following anyway, is like the less amount of clicks to get from product to cart is the better. The thing is, baby boomers tend to hang out on Facebook. So that's a really good channel to focus on, especially in groups and communities. Just like they want that retail in-person experience, they've understood that's moved online. So now on Facebook groups is a great place for them to connect with other people their own age, to learn from people where they feel that human connection. Facebook Lives do really well with this demographic. When you're thinking about marketing to your target market, one, you should consider what the experience they're expecting based on who they are. But secondarily, you should picture what would they want to do in a typical afternoon? Who are their trusted sources of information? So for baby boomers, a typical afternoon would be getting together with their friends to have a barbecue, to connect in person. That's very much their culture and what they've grown up doing. So that's really their comfort zone. Secondarily, their sources of truth are probably larger media companies, anything from Wall Street Journal to Fox News to New York Times, depending on where they stand on the political spectrum. But that's really where they tend to get more of their trusted news. They had to jump onto Facebook so they could see their pictures of their grandkids and their kids and to feel connected. So they've gotten very comfortable in Facebook. Not so comfortable as much on the other channels. Now, obviously, this doesn't apply to every baby boomer. There's a couple baby boomers that are killing it on TikTok right now with their own influencer channels. But for us as a marketplace, if you're going to talk to the larger market of baby boomers, you really want to be on Facebook, and you want to be on a Facebook group, not a page. A Facebook group gives you the opportunity to connect with these baby boomers in a communal setting, which takes that external afternoon out hanging out with their friends and puts it into a digital space. Now, you want to start with anything that's relevant to them, be very conversational, make sure that it's back and forth and that you're providing them valuable information, because you're trying to replicate that experience that they're having on that afternoon outing with their friends, but in a digital space. And if you're the brand that provides that to them, you've instantly built trust. Make sure to check out our blog post that I've linked below for very specific design and copy tips when talking to baby boomers. Next, we're going to talk about Gen X. So Gen X is that interesting generation. They were the rebellious generation that were the kids of the baby boomers. They came out with companies like Apple, Atari, Microsoft. They were out to start defining how technology exists and how they were going to own it themselves. So Gen Xers are that similarly a hybrid between baby boomers and millennials. They are comfortable talking on the phone. They are comfortable having those more personalized conversations, but they're also comfortable using technology. So they're going to want to start their relationship by finding you on technology, on social media, and validating that you are in fact who you say you are. They are expecting you to provide authoritative content on your website. They know that there's a lot of BS out there, and they want to see that your site has the relevant, authoritative, expert level content that answers their questions. Gen Xers spend times on certain platforms. They're primarily on Reddit, YouTube, Instagram, and still on Facebook. But their primary places are any place where they can basically blast out their opinion. They're the ones that actually defined the tech world, even though they're not the ones that are the primary consumers of everything tech. But because they have that rebellious nature, they really want to find a place and a brand that's no BS. They have no tolerance for that. They want you to be their educational partner. So for them, accountability, honesty, education, authority is the most important thing. And there's a bunch of different ways that you can do that. So brands can do really well on Reddit as long as you're not selling. Brands do really well on Twitter as long as you're not selling. Are you getting the pattern here is basically when you're marketing to Gen X, don't market. Instead, become a trusted resource for them that they can continually go to, and the money will come. It's less of this direct sales, aggressive behavior that actually would work really well with baby boomers because they're used to that kind of like old salesy experience. With Gen Xers, you really want to just market as yourself and provide lots of value. And that's where you're going to see their loyalty. Millennials are interesting. If you want to speak to millennials, they're mostly going to be on Instagram. Now, Instagram's a bit of a challenging platform in the sense that it is very visual and it sets a certain standard. The difference between millennials and Gen Z is millennials have grown up on this polished, very perfect, very beautiful social experience that is the cornerstone of Instagram. Whereas TikTok is just get out of the shower, don't put any makeup on and throw on, like just start talking about whatever you want to talk about. It's very raw, it's very real. And that's what's really appealing to the Gen Zers. But for millennials, because they've grown up more with this concept of self-esteem and where they want to head as a generation and what the expectations are, when you're speaking to millennials, you really need to speak to how you serve them. The information, the content, everything should be about how you're elevating, how you provide more, how you're better. And Instagram is really that platform that gives it that overall polish. They still want authenticity. They still have their BS meter up. So millennials really want to feel like they're making a difference in the world. And Gen X does as well, and Gen Z very much does. Learning more about cause marketing and how your brand could be following some sort of cause or some sort of connection to the community or a larger, greater purpose will make a big impact. And we've got a whole article on our website about cause marketing that I'll link below as well. Gen Z is actually a really powerful demographic. And what's funny is the spending power of Gen Z in some industries is actually stronger than spending power in millennials. With Gen Z, yes, they're primarily on TikTok. They're also on any newer platform that feels more true, more organic. They grew up seeing the damages that Instagram does with its overly polished, forced experience, and really instead wants to make sure that they embrace who they are and everyone's accepted and everyone is right the way they are, and they really just want to incorporate that. So for them, cause marketing is actually probably your strongest suit. It's like, I don't want to just buy a pair of shoes. I want to buy a pair of shoes that helps the world. I don't want to buy junk that's going to pollute, that's going to damage my future. They're the ones that are most aware of the future that they have in store for them if things don't change. So they really want to support the brands that are going to help things change today. You can market on TikTok, but you're gonna have to be honest and raw with them. TikTok has seen a lot of brands blow up that are just homegrown, somebody in their garage showing them like, hey, I've started a fashion brand. This is my inventory. This is what I'm doing. And before they know it, they've got hundreds of thousands of sales because they've related to the actual person with a genuine interest that they've connected to on a human level. There is a lot of similarities in that sense with the baby boomers that people want to connect on that human level. But with baby boomers, because they've traditionally not had to do it through technology, it's a little bit trickier for them to connect through technology. Whereas with the Gen Z, they're all about the technology. One other interesting fact across all these generations is actually your customer support. So baby boomers will always call or prefer to talk to somebody in person. Anything as you get past Gen X into millennials and Gen Z is they'd rather self-serve. So you better have a really good FAQ, a really good article base, case studies, examples, all of your clinical studies should be online. And then maybe if they absolutely cannot find what they want, they're gonna go to chat. So also making sure that your entire business experience, not just marketing, really fits to your target market is gonna make such a difference for your business. If you're first starting out, if you're early on, or even if you have stagnated your growth, you want to focus on one demographic, one customer persona at a time. Build out that funnel, build out those landing pages, build out that experience so that the baby boomers love you or Gen X loves you. Once you've kind of got that dialed in, then you can speak to the next generation and the next generation and then have that more holistic approach. Hey, thanks for watching. Check out these other 2 videos. I had a lot of fun making them, and there's a lot of really good marketing content in there. As always, if you have any marketing questions whatsoever, make sure to leave them in the comments below and we will get them answered. Thanks for watching.